Do you guys see I can't talk? I hope you noticed in my last few videos that like I can't talk, and it's because of Accutane. Like it feels like there's like a bubble like here, and I tried to speak and it like hits this, and I can't actually like communicate what I need to communicate. Just doesn't, it's not happening. Let's pray that this goes away after I stop the drug, or we're gonna be in some trouble, okay? Today we are talking about my final month of Accutane. I am finished in exactly 3 days. 3 days left. I didn't think that was gonna make much of a difference in terms of my results. So let's get right into it. This is my final skin update. I will try and get as close as possible. So no pimples. However, I was getting a couple, which I was concerned about, but I realized I switched and I was using rosehip oil at night because everybody and their mother says that rosehip oil is so good for your skin, blah, blah, blah. It's just didn't work for me when I had acne, and it's not working for me when I don't have acne. I just feel like my skin got really congested even while on Accutane, which is insane. I'm not wearing any makeup right now, obviously. But I noticed that my skin is like super red, which is a side effect from the Accutane, which is apparently going to go down once I stop the medication. So after a few months, the redness kind of goes away. No acne right now. A lot of this, so if you see a lot of these dots, which I'll zoom in when I edit, it's all hyperpigmentation and scarring. So from my previous spots, there's like all these like red dots everywhere, which just aren't gonna go away. Like they will maybe over time, or if I get like laser treatments, which I might get post Accutane. Then I noticed that I'm getting a lot of like ice pick scars, which are like the denting in your skin, which I didn't have before Accutane, but I reckon I have them now because I just didn't see them as obvious before because I had so many pimples that you couldn't really see the ice pick scars, but now that my skin is completely clear, you can see them. So I'm getting a lot of those like around here and here. You can see right here, do we see that? That wasn't there before, or if it was, I didn't notice it because I had pimples covering them. And so all there as well, like the bottom here, you can see that there, right, especially there, you can see it. That's good lighting. You can see that texture. So that wasn't there before. And it's there now. Like I said, I think it was probably there, but I had so many pimples covering it that like I didn't notice the ice pick scars. I was looking more at my pimples, obviously. Like my skin is completely smooth. It feels like butter right now. It's so soft. Only thing is it's red, and it gets like really red throughout the day. So I found before I never really wore foundation, but I've had to start wearing like a light foundation just because if I don't, people legitimately ask me like, are you okay? Because like I look like I've just come from like running a marathon in the Sahara Desert. That being said, I obviously have PCOS, and I'm going to talk with you the common symptoms that happen with Accutane and whether they affected me or not. If I would recommend this in the end. Obviously, I am not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, I am just giving you my story of things. Let's start with the most obvious, which is the lips. My lips probably are the most annoying of all of this because they just like have to be coated in this at all times. Like you will take a sip of water and a bit will come off and you will feel the burn, the cracking starting. That's them though. So in terms of like severity and from what I've seen in other videos, like they're perfect. I started noticing a crack happening here. So if we look here, that thing there. So that developed, I'd say 2 weeks ago, and it hurt to open my mouth and talk or whatever. To be fair, like I'm quite lucky that I've just developed that in the last like basically 2 weeks before I'm finished, but the other 6 months I didn't have any cracking at all. Next is dry skin. I didn't experience any dry skin on my face. Hasn't like cracked or anything on my face, which some people get really, really dry, flaky skin. I didn't experience that. I did experience it on my hands. So I'm gonna try and, okay, so we can see that is like all, do you see? So basically I developed like moderate eczema on my hands, and I think it's because I'm always washing my hands for work, and then I don't really have time to keep applying cream. And I think I remember in the first 2 months I was like, oh, like my skin was scaly, I put cream on, and like now it's fine. And like now it's at the stage where I will like load on cream when I'm home, Vaseline, like everything, and it still doesn't go away, and I just think it's gonna be with me until I'm off the medication. The rest of my body, no dry skin, so it's literally my hands. Next, my eyes were the next biggest symptom. They were like really, really red and bloodshot. Like, you know when you don't sleep for days and you get like all of those red veins and dry? That's how my eyes were, I'd say month 3 or 4 and onwards. So I bought eye drops, which help, but then when you stop using the eye drops, the redness comes back because obviously it's not, sorry, hiccups. Obviously it's not curing it. And then, like I mentioned before in my other video, nighttime wasn't great. It kind of got better, to be honest. Like the first few months, all the lights outside were like really blurry to me at nighttime. And then the more I was on it, it kind of lessened up a little bit, but still like had that like cast from all the lights when you're at nighttime. So definitely don't drive if that's what happens to you. And I developed this vein, which I don't know, can you, okay, yes, we can see it on here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay, do we see this vein? But that vein right there, I don't know if that was like the strain of like my eyes being so red or whatever, but that vein was not there pre-Accutane. So I have a new friend with me, which is really unfortunate because it's like right in the middle of my face and it just makes me look extremely tired. I reckon that's from all the strain on my eyes. Like I said, seeing at night was difficult. The daytime was difficult. Like if you don't have sunglasses, even when it's super overcast, like you are screwed. I got a new vein. So that's just great, okay? The fatigue. The fatigue is real. Like I cannot emphasize how tired you will feel and how like you are just perma exhausted. This also is, for me, I experienced insomnia while taking this drug. So like a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of trouble falling asleep. If you have PCOS, most of us already have problems staying asleep, falling asleep, and for some reason, this drug just took it on overdrive. Like I have never experienced a consistent like night after night after night of hardly any sleep. And then to top that off, like the drug does make you feel tired. And I went to the gym less than I've ever been in my life. I could not get up in the bed in the morning. I press snooze like 4 or 5 times every single morning. I could not get myself out of bed. Coffee did nothing. That was like my biggest thing. And some people don't feel as tired as I did. I just like, whoa. In terms of like body symptoms, I had joint soreness in my back of my ankles and my hip joints. So back of the ankles started almost immediately. Like within the first month, I found it kind of uncomfortable to walk because like obviously you need your ankles to walk. And like every time I walked, I could like feel the back of my ankles. Like it was a really odd sensation. Like it just feels like you have arthritis, I imagine. And then hip soreness. So I just found it really difficult to walk because like my stride shortened because, and I didn't do it on purpose, but I noticed my stride was shorter and I was like kind of like wobbling my hips more to compensate for the soreness of my joints, my hip joints. So if I normally made bigger strides, now they were shorter and I was like using my hips to like sway my walk because to walk forward hurt. This is not sounding like it's making any sense. But basically, I experienced joint soreness. Next are some things that I didn't experience or things that I was happy about. So one is my hair. I experienced no hair loss at all. The one amazing thing about being on Accutane is if you have oily hair like me and you have to wash it like all the time, you could go like 4 or 5 days without washing your hair, which was like... I believe that goes away after you finish Accutane, so that's not going to be with me forever, but while I was on the drug, that was a super nice perk. You all know what I'm talking about if your hair literally looks like a drowned rat. by the end of day 1, okay? And then another symptom which is common is you're more susceptible to illness. Taking Accutane, I believe, lowers your immune system, which therefore makes you more susceptible to getting sick. I actually did not get sick more than I normally would. My cholesterol levels were a-okay. They kind of like went up and down, but they were below where they should be, so I was actually safe. I was on the higher end of being safe, but I was still like in the safe zone, and because of that, I was allowed to have 1 to 2 alcoholic drinks per week. So would I recommend this drug? Because those are all the symptoms that I myself experienced. Would I recommend this? Out of 10, I would give this an 8. And I would have given it a 10 had Besides that, my skin is completely clear. I only got those couple of spots the last month or so because I incorporated that oil, which I shouldn't have, but I did. If I didn't, my skin would have been completely clear for like 4 or 5 months. So my dermatologist said because I have PCOS, I might be in the bottom 30% that Accutane does not work for. So there's 30% of people who take Accutane and it doesn't work because your hormone levels are just imbalanced, and you will still get, she said, I probably will still get spots around my period. I probably will get spots if I'm stressed, and that's because my hormones are not regulated. I'm gonna be doing updates like 2, 3, 4 months post Accutane to see how my skin holds up, but I would recommend this. So yeah, hope this video helps. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it, because it really helps support my channel. And I will see you in my next vlog, which will be talking about the products that I used while on Accutane, like my little Accutane survival guide. But yeah, see you ladies later.